last week we had Andy, the guitar geek, on the podcast, and we were talking quite a bit about the mental health aspect of being a content creator, and I would like to know how you deal with that topic specifically because I mean, a lot of people don't want to admit it, but hurtful and non-constructive comments under videos can affect people, and they actually do affect people. And I've seen people be like falling below heavily because they don't know how to deal with it, or they can't deal with it. So and since you have a 10-year history with YouTube, I would like to know how you deal with it usually. If you see, do you ignore them or do you engage with them?
I think the thing on YouTube that affects me the most is not the comments, but the constant struggle of being relevant on YouTube. That's the thing that gets to me. But for example, I'm on a 3-month suspension from being monetized on YouTube right now, and I don't even know why.
What?
I think it's close to 3 months now that my channel was demonetized, which means there are no ads on my channel right now. And that is around like 40% of my income just gone in a day. So stuff like that gets to me, and trying to deal with YouTube, getting an explanation to why this happened. It's not like I have a very controversial channel at all. It's Guitar Gear. And yeah, getting views and stuff, that's the thing that gets to me. And the comments, of course, can be really annoying, but it's usually, I deal with it okay when YouTube in general is okay for me. When YouTube is stressful for me, I get super pissed off about the comments as well.
Okay.
And I don't care too much about the comments that are like, you're ugly and stuff like that. But it's, I don't know how to describe it even, but it's just like people complaining over stuff that's my choice. I made this video just the way I wanted it to be. So don't come here and complain. Go make your own video. That's when I get like super pissed off, and I sometimes right back, and I can be pretty angry and maybe not too nice sometimes.
But I mean, you have a right to be, right? People are not forced to sit there and watch your videos. They clicked on the video, right? And if they're not happy with it, like, let's say we met in person, we didn't know each other, and I look at you and I say, Eirik, I don't like your sweater.
Yeah.
You would look at me and say, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And what could I do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, dude, you should have put on proper clothing if you're going to go in public. You would grab me by the scruff and go, say, are you okay? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But on your YouTube channel, I feel like that's what it is too. If some schmuck comes along and makes a comment that's really stupid, my preferred way of doing it is just hiding the user from the channel. That way I don't have to fucking deal with them anymore. I'm like, okay, you're just a dumbass. I can tell by the way you're phrasing your statement that you're not looking to have a normal debate. You want to piss me off. You want me to engage negatively with you. And I just hide them. But sometimes I get the one person that just writes the most outlandish, stupid thing.
Yeah.
And then instead of getting like super angry about it, I just try to be witty. And my wife says, you shouldn't even bother. I'm like, no. I'm tearing this guy a new asshole.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Right? And I go in there and I'm like, if we met, dude, you would not talk to me like that. So I'm going to let you know these are my terms. It's my channel. I do what I want. If you don't like it and everyone just bails out and I lose all my subscribers, I will not cry. I'll move on. I'll find something else.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this for the creativity. If I can get a little bit of kickback in terms of money so I can keep supporting what I do, great. But for me, just like you, Eirik, this is a creative outlet. I'm trying to have fun, but I'm also trying to give back to people. This is not like self-gratification. I'm not doing it just for me. I'm doing it because I want people to hear the gear, get a good sense of what it does. But you always have the person that comes in, they're like, why do you play these overpriced guitars? Why do you play these overpriced amps? I'm sorry. That's what I play. Why do you feel so like crushed by the idea that someone would have better gear than you? It happens. I played shit gear forever.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to like soup it up. Just, no, it's for me. I'm not playing these amps for other people. I'm doing it for myself. But you always have the one person saying, you know, you're playing overpriced guitars. And then when you play cheap guitars, you got some schmuck coming in saying, why are you playing a Squire?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a real guitar. So if you try to please everyone, you'll please nobody.
No.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and sometimes some comments, probably the comments that gets to me are things that I know I can improve on. Then I need to like work on myself a bit because, okay, if this is like the fifth person telling me that my guitar tone is always a bit too dark, then I probably should try to look into that. And those comments can really piss me off as well, but it's because I know there's something there.
Yeah. They hit a nerve.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had that when I started out. Like, I had to talk, and I would script everything so it would look like Dawn of the Dead, like, hi, welcome to the channel. And I had some people call me out on it. I was so angry. I was like, I'm trying. But you know, you're talking to a damn camera. What is natural about that? It's like if you saw a guy, some dude randomly talking to a banana, you'd be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? But that's what we're doing. We're talking to an inanimate thing in front of us, pretending that we're having a conversation, which is not natural. But eventually you end up getting it. For me, it took 480 something videos to actually start to get somewhat comfortable in front of the camera. But you always have someone coming in and they always have something. You're not perfect enough and they'll let you know. And that's when it hurts. It's when it's like, hey, you got sausage fingers. I'm not going to go like cut them off and get some extensions just to get really nice, like Avon lady fingers for you. It's like, that's what I got. I'm going to work with it, you know? So some comments like that are irrelevant, but it's when they really hit the nail on the head and you're in one of those moods where you're like, don't fuck with me today. Yeah. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, son of a bitch. Yeah. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I got one video where I'm doing like using the AC-15 with an ABY pedal, but I'm standing so close to the camera. I have people saying, whoa, buddy, back off. You're way too close to the camera. It's filmed. I can't tell myself on camera to back the fuck off. Yeah. I recorded it that way. So yeah, you're stuck looking at my big ugly face in the camera. I mean, it's like learning experience. Or one video I made where like I was looking at how heavy an amp was. So I say 12 pounds, but it's actually 12 kilograms, which is not the same thing. Yeah. You wouldn't believe how many people still write to me saying, idiot, it's 12 kilograms, not 12 pounds. I made that video 4 years ago. Yeah. I still get that comment.
There's so many old videos that gets comments like that, and I usually just comment to them that okay, I will reshoot the video and I will send it to you, just you. Can you give me the email address and I will send it to you as soon as it's done. I'm working on it
video
now.
Request.
This is super weird. What I did for quite some time, and I completely stopped doing, at some point, and I don't know how it happened, but people kind of got wind that I have an extensive history in this industry as far as like working at retailers, working with distributors, and working with brands directly, and I was involved in the development of some products as well, that they kind of used my channel as like a consulting space where I was doing a video and then they were like asking me questions, like if it was a guy standing in a fucking store, he was like, so what can I do with these outputs? And are the other ones capable of transporting symmetric signal as well? And how many effects can I apply on this? I'm like, dude, every manufacturer has a website. So you can go there and it has all the answers. No, but you're watching the video and it's like, well, I can as well just ask the guy, He has time. Sure. Yeah. And at some point I stopped doing that because it was like so time consuming. And then I saw it happening on 4-year-old videos. So I was like, no way. No chance.
Yeah. You're like,
I often get questions about gear, and sometimes it's almost like, hey, can you pick out everything for a new rig for me? Guitar, cables, pedals, and amps. And I really want to be a nice guy, but I'm like, I don't have time to do this. And how can I monetize it? It's impossible. Like, I can't really tell them, if you pay me $100 and I will make your rig. Like,
You could though. You could offer that. You could probably say, because you have a reputation and you have experience with gear, you could probably say, hey, here's a website. I can do all the rig thing for you. Just wire me $200 and I'll have it done for you by the end of the week. You probably could do that.
Good idea.
And you could also take the concept of the question and turn it into a video that would be interesting. Let's say someone says, my budget's $500. What would you buy?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well, right now, if I had just $500 for amps and pedals and cables and stuff, let's see. And you could make a video about that. And you would show like what gear you would have and why you would make that decision. And maybe whenever you get that question in the future, you can just send them back to this video. What amp do you recommend under $500? I made a video on that. Here it is. That's the answer to your question. And that could also maybe be one of those videos where you could like just borrow the stuff without having like a sponsor. So that way you kind of build that trust. Like you didn't get any of the gear for free. You just like really went out, borrowed some stuff. And you're like, this is what I would do with my knowledge currently of the guitar industry and the value of stuff. This is what I would buy. I actually thought about doing that some time back, but I don't make enough money from the channel. Like I can buy guitar strings at the end of the year with the money I make on AdSense, but I can't go out and buy a rig. Like forget about it. So, but I mean, sometimes I try to see opportunities from questions, especially if they keep like they're reoccurring questions. Like what tubes would you put in this amp? I don't know, just buy them. But it's like, okay, I don't like the speaker. I want to keep the amp, but what speaker would you go for? What style of music do you play? And sometimes that like just sparks an idea. You're like, okay, so you're playing a Vox AC15 and you want to play death metal. Can the Vox AC15 do death metal? Well, let's go and see. So then I see like an opportunity there with a simple question. And I'm actually working on that video right now, so nobody steal my idea, please. So I'm gonna like have this little AC15. I'm gonna be like, yeah, can it do death metal? And I'm gonna have like choice pedals, and I'm gonna give it a shot. And people can say like, it sounds like shit, dude. It doesn't sound authentic. Oh well, then what is the key to death metal? Is it like a 50 watt amp, 100 watt amp? Does it have to be a Marshall or Angle? And that can sometimes lead to a new series that you can work on. It's like the authenticity of the tone that you want. Where is it? Is it in how much money you spend? Is it in the specific gear that you buy?
Yeah.
Can you only do like gent or deathcore with like, I don't know, like Seymour Duncan blackouts or EMG 81s? Or can you do it with a Telecaster? And then people go, this is fucking stupid. Yeah, but you still clicked on the video, didn't you?
Yeah.
No? It's like